title.
Then later on we will write down the marks.
Comparison of intraocular pressure variability detected by an office day diurnal variation test and that evoked by a water drinking test. The water drinking test has found The water drinking test has found renewed interest among researchers recently, and it has been proposed to serve as a surrogate to determine outflow facility, the efficacy of hypotensive therapy, and the likelihood of progression. But large prospective studies to enhance this concept are deficient. It has been proposed that IOP peak obtained by this test shows a strong correlation with the IOP peak that occurs during the day. The aim of this study was to determine the correlation and agreement between IOP peak and fluctuations detected by DVT to that after WDT to provide conclusive evidence to say if the WDT can substitute DVT. It was a prospective interventional study carried out at the glaucoma clinic in Shankar Nethralaya between October 2017 and March 2018. 200 eyes of 100 patients were included in the study. We included patients with primary open angle, angle closure, pigmentary, pseudoexfoliation glaucoma, ocular hypertensives, and glaucoma suspects. And these were our inclusion criteria. IOP measurements were made at 2-hour intervals from 8 a.m. To 3 p.m. by a trained optometrist on the Goldmann applanation tonometer. The 3 p.m. IOP reading was taken as a baseline for the water drinking. The patients were made to consume a volume of water, 10 ml per kg body weight, in 5 to 15 minutes at 3 p.m. after they fluid fasted for about 2 hours. IOP measurements were taken by the same observer at 15-minute intervals till the IOP readings returned to baseline. And these were our results. About 200 eyes of 100 patients were included in the study. The average age was 55 years. About 28%, 32% of the patients were about glaucoma suspects, and 28% was open angle glaucoma. 39 of 106 eyes with established glaucoma showed a water drinking response greater than 3 millimeters of mercury, and the peak was seen about 30 to 45 minutes post water intake. The correlation between mean and peak IOP was strong and significant, while it was weak for IOP fluctuations. Blonde-Altman plots were drawn to study the agreement between the two methods. It showed limited agreement for mean IOP and poor agreement for peak and fluctuations. When subgroup analysis was done based on OHT suspect group as well as established glaucoma and also based on the severity of glaucoma, it yielded similar results. When binary logistic regression was done to study the risk factors associated with the water drinking response about 3, it was seen that increasing age, pseudoexfoliation, and worse or advanced glaucoma was risk factors. Long hospital waiting hours can be a deterrent factor in any patient's health-seeking behavior, and so in such a scenario, it becomes relevant to note whether the circadian peak can be simulated after water drinking. Our study is one of the few prospective studies on water drinking with the largest sample size. We found the correlation between peak IOP to be strong and significant, while it was weak for fluctuations. This was in sync with other studies by other authors. Morris et al. Found limited agreement between WDT and the IOP peak, and the same author found significant agreement when the WDT performed the initial visit and the highest office IOP during subsequent visits in a 6 to 12-month follow-up period. Possible reasons for our study findings could be that the DVT was between 8 and 3 p.m., missing the circadian peak between 5 and 7, decreased duration of DVT, flatter curves because patients were on multiple IOP lowering agents, and a substantial amount of glaucoma suspects were DIS suspects. To conclude, I would like to say that WDT is a good test to measure IOP peak in the clinic and can provide reliable information on any short-term IOP profile, but it cannot substitute DVT. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.